And we're back. It's time to go into our second and final series of the evening. This one is going to be the Shanghai Dragons going up against the Philadelphia Fusion. But before we get into that, MVP. Hey, we have the nominations now. It's out there.
Yeah,
it's
just saw the video.
So, yeah.
You just saw the video. I think that was the first global reveal of the 2022 nominees. So your 10 nominees for the 2022 Overwatch League MVP is Lip, Hanbin, Kai, Smurf, Kevster, Hardy, Zest, Prophet, and Shoot. And two of them will be playing in this matchup. We have Lip and Zest on board to the DPSs, one per team, on the MVP ballot candidacy. Votes will be opening October. I can't remember the date. It was October something. It said on the video.
Eventually.
Go back and watch it. It's on YouTube, fellas. Rewind. You can check it out. I'm sure you've clicked it by now. But Shanghai versus Philly, where, as to sort of reiterate the stakes here, Shanghai locked in playoffs. They're LA bound. They're US bound. They cannot not go to playoffs now. They are automatically qualified. Fusion, though, they are still wanting to lock up at least third place here to get their own automatic qualification. Otherwise, they are guaranteed play-ins.
That they are. Well, we'll go ahead and take a look at the starting five for the side of the Shanghai Dragons, see what they're working with here. They have flipped around a couple different parts in this machine as they've gone throughout the entire season, but it is going to be Bebe and Izayaki for the supporting lineup. And Void there as well in the tank role. The thing that I love the most about when we release, like the MVP information and whatnot, is that there's now more inane nonsense that people can have BS arguments over on Twitter and Reddit. So there you go. Start talking about how, Hottie isn't the MVP because your favorite player is. And have a very crazy argument that has no value whatsoever.
Something that does get me riled up, though, something that gets me really fired up in a good way, Achilles, in a fantastic way, is the Philadelphia Fusion. Let's take a look.
Oh, yeah.
Nuclear! Zest dashes and instantly finds 3 kills. Leading the charge of his team application matrix as well, but Fury, excellent gravitic flood.
Sport had the numbers, but Bellisry has the space, the mines, the double kill!
Shot through Aim God. He's looking for the elimination. He goes on the offensive, but Aim God shuts him down. Ooh, everybody really low inside of the valley. Nixa gets 2 for himself. Okay.
And there they are. You say you get riled up by the Philly Fusion. I'm sure that the fans do as well, but it's not necessarily for good reasons like you claim to have here, Avril. But we'll see how they perform today. It's been a bit of a rough go of it for the side of the Fusion fans, but I think one of the most Fusion things that they could possibly do was lose their previous series and then come into this one and best the Dragons. So we'll see if they're up to task.
It's happened before. I was very impressed, actually, by their win versus the Hangzhou Spark. Look, I understand the Hangzhou Spark are having a few issues right now in terms of what they're doing with their support line, first and foremost. Who's meant to be playing the tank position, right? That's still a big question mark for the Spark. But looking on Fusion side specifically, I was so impressed with Fury, specifically on that Zarya. He received the player of the match in that particular game, and deservedly so. He was just phenomenal. I think that is prime vintage Fury. From even 2018 season, that was more of a diva game, but now we're heading into what I think is potentially a strong off-tank meta as more and more teams are leaning towards Zarya or Sigma or Diva, specifically the Zarya, as we saw Smurf just do. Fury is absolutely also at the top of his game on that particular hero, backed by MN3 and Zest, who, look, if one of them pops off, pocketed by Fury, you're going to have a good time. So I think Fusion have a lot of strengths coming into this particular game. It is still the Shanghai Dragons, but remember, it's the 0-2 Shanghai Dragons who are yet to sort of find their groove of what their position in this meta is, who is meant to be playing, and what is their general overall strategy, because it's been kind of all over the place in the last 2 matches for this team.
Yeah, it has been. It's been weird because if you told me coming into this meta, what the meta was going to be, that Sombra was going to be seeing a lot of play, I would have been like, okay, Shanghai Dragons are going to be great. You've got Lip right there, so there's no way that they struggle. So if you told me that, yeah, Shanghai Dragons are going to start off this meta 0-2, I just would not believe you. I wouldn't believe that in pretty much any meta.
Is that they have tried both Lip Sombra and also Lip Sojin, and they don't seem to be very much locked in on either, because in the Soul game, we had mainly Lip Sombra. In the Guangzhou game, we had mainly Lip Sojin, and we've had Fate the entire way through. Today, as we see in the starting lineup, Void is going to be playing. Now, I had it kind of on my wish list that I wanted to see Shanghai play into Void a little bit more, given that, Fusion are playing more into Fury, Smurf's hero pool is shifting more towards his off-tanks, right? I think that's probably the right call to make. At least you'll have nothing to lose here. You've already lost 2 matches with Fate. Give Void another shot, at least to look at what that Zarya can do, and we'll see where we can go from there. The other interesting situation for the Dragons is, what is the situation between Fled and Who Are You? Who Are You is basically taking them to 2 finals, won one of them. Fled has struggled a little bit this season. I still have faith that maybe Fled can bring it back. He needs a bit more time in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber to get that Tracer up to specs again. And the support line, we have Easy Bebe, where Bebe has been in and out of the roster throughout the entire year to somewhat middling success, but as I've kind of noted about where NA has gone, they're playing a lot of double flex support. Dragons is one of the few teams in this region, next to, I believe, the Spark, who actually legitimately have 2 flex supports on their team to play with. So this is a very clear declaration from Dragons to say, we're going to be playing off-tank double flex support, very similar to what NA is doing.
We'll have to see how they look. I mean, the Shanghai Dragons, even starting off rough and looking like they're a little bit lost in the meta, and that some of the players aren't performing at the level that we kind of anticipated from them. It's really difficult to not give them the benefit of the doubt and say they can come back from this and whatnot. They can still recover this. Obviously, they're locked in for the playoffs, so they're still more than fine to be able to kind of have this downward dip, I suppose, at the end of the season. But you don't want to have that, is the thing that kind of carries you into the playoffs. But I'm still fully anticipating them to be able to get a grasp on this meta. It's just about when does it happen. And starting right now, I think would be very good for the side of the Dragons fans, much to the chagrin of the Fusion fans. But we'll have to just see who comes out on top of this one. I guess the players probably saying, like, you know what, we've seen a lot of Game 5s lately, so we probably have some extra time before we have to play. No, guys, we need you to get in the lobby, and they're working on it right now.
Yeah, currently waiting for Shanghai to enter lobby, so, Moon's just double-checking, crossing T's, dotting I's, etc. to make sure that he's actually got the right starters. Like, maybe I should be playing Who Are You? I don't know, maybe not. There's a lot of Genji being played across the board, but you do need to flex onto the Tracer as well, and I think it's been a while since we've seen a Who Are You Tracer that's out for debate. Just got to talk about the history about these 2 teams for a brief little bit as well. They've so far faced up 4 times in the 2022 season. 2-2 record, both teams have won equal amounts. 3 of those games are 3-0s. The first 2 Shanghai Fusion matches were 3-0s in favor of Fusion. You'll fondly remember those from the kickoff clash. For some reason, Fusion would just not lose a map to the Dragons, and they were the bane of the Shanghai Dragons. And then you had Dragons bouncing back 3-0 versus the Philly Fusion in Week 9. That was during July. I'm trying to remember what tournament that was. That might have been mid-season. And then we had very recently here a 3-1. I believe that was Summer Showdown. So now we're finally matching up in the Countdown Cup. And, well, jury's out. Shanghai kind of still figuring out what they're trying to do. Fusion look like they have found an answer. Shanghai's answer does look pretty similar to Fusion's as well. So I'll go on a limb and give them the benefit of the doubt and say that Shanghai are ready to play a very similar style of game.
We'll have to just wait and see. Looks like everybody is now getting themselves into the lobby on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. We're still waiting on Bells for you. Or, sorry, Fury, on the side of the Fusion. So then we can get things underway. Also take a look at what, the hell the map set is going to be. But, hey, there we go. Got some faces on camera. And I can't tell if that is just an elaborate cup or is he actually... Because that looks like a milkshake glass that Izayaki sipping out of.
What is... Here's a question. What is Izayaki drinking? Wrong answers only. Write that one in the chat. As that's a huge. It does look like a milkshake cup. We have the dichotomy
playing
of
a dangerous game.
Super Rich's tiny teacup versus Izayaki's monstrous milkshake cup. A dangerous game. Fusion play a dangerous game weekly. What are you talking about?
Well, I think we're getting into game now. The ready-ups have come through, and yes, okay. So things are going to be starting. We'll take a look at the map set here in just a little moment. So thank you guys for bearing with us while we got the players ready to go. Once more, we're going to be starting things off here on Busan. But from there, it's a lot of different looks. Yes. Yes, they are. A lot of different looks. As we will have New Queen Street as a bit of a repeat, but Eichenwalde and then Circuit Royale.
I'll tell you what. I'm very excited for the Circa map. It's that third map in the series that I'm always going to get a little giddy for, and specifically it's because we're going to get the Void Fury Sigma matchup. That one's going to be a delight. Lip versus MN3 on the snipers as well. So, you know, I'm already thinking about Christmas right now. We're months away, but I'm already getting geared up for it, and the tree is going to be hung up soon. Hung up? I don't know. Put up. At this point, I don't celebrate it. So here we go. Shanghai. Let's take a look at what we got here. D.Va, both sides actually D.Va. Now, MN3 has actually played a reasonable amount of Sombra, 4 Fusion so far. I'm still debating whether I think that's the right call for the Fusion, but we have just seen Fitz kind of dominate on the Sombra. Lip is thinking the same thing, so if MN3 wants to succeed on Sombra, he's got to go up against the Sombra GOAT himself.
All right, well, here we go. Out the gate. Clashing in the middle, MN3 going unchecked, gets a hack here onto Void. Just arriving, puts a decent amount of pressure down. You're trying to beam him out as well, but can't quite break that mech. And while they all had their eyes trained on Void, Aimgod has left out the drive. Flutter finds the kill. Fury now going to be crumbling as well. Won't get the mech break, but still very much going to be the one fight going over to the side of the Shanghai Dragons as they just continue to clean up member after member.
Catch you later.
Yeah, decent damage done so far. Easy-Aki solo capping. Monk chilling, as a Monk rather, chilling on the point. Monk's already played in the previous series. Philadelphia Fusion, it's going to be, you know, we talked about the tank lineup a little bit. It was D.Va. Fury instead came out onto Zarya. Void really jumping ahead in terms of ult charge, and Aimgod finds first blood in the secondary fight. That's the opposite of what happened previously when Flitter got one.
Yep, get some revenge. Strikes it down, the hack again here on. Avoided to look to take him out of the mech, and they should be able to do so, but no, the healing actually starts getting pumped in from Bebe.
Matrix was there as well. Void was spamming the right click and just got the Matrix in time after the hack subsided. Nano coming online now.
Oh, well, Zest slept dead. EMP, still trigger going to be pulled on that one. MN3 does help kill off Izayaki. That's about all they're going to be able to get, though. Shanghai Dragons now starting to occupy the point, trying to get the flip into their favor. Bebe, however, caught out. MN3 turning with the help of Fury. They find the elimination. Void going to be nanoed up, trying to survive, but still gets broken out of the mech. EMP goes across from Lip, catches Aimgod by himself, but it's the only kill that they can find. And Izayaki, he rejoins the fight. MN3 kills him once more.
I'm not too sure that Shanghai Dragons should have committed that far in. When Void is gone and Bebe's already dead as well, Lip probably should not have gone for an EMP, because the other thing you have to remember is that Philly have the cap, so it's not like Shanghai are trying to fight for small percentage gains on the cap by blowing an extra ultimate. That ended up just being a waste. So the Philly Fusion, happy with the extra ult expenditure from the Shanghai Dragons. They'll absorb that economy. Now this time around, Void can do very little even with the Nano. That was a death rattle Nano as well as Bebe just goes down. Now Fury looking towards the grab. Okay, Aimgod dies.
Yeah, Aimgod going to be taken down. Fixa
Have the trance.
Hacked out as well. Sliver of HP remaining on Fixa. They haven't been able to finish him off quite just yet. They know exactly where he's at. Fleta going to be held at bay. They force him back, and Fixa manages to stay alive. Nano going to be invested as well. Goes over to Fury. They kill off Void, finishing that Baby D.Va. Continues to slob in these right clicks, looking for the kill on a Bebe. Will be able to stay in the fight for a little bit longer. Fury down low. Transcendence going to be used. Aimgod just making sure that they can go ahead and keep the Zarya in the fight. 85%.
Yep. Last fight Tetra coming up, an EMP. The timing is impeccable. Fusion look. I don't mind that they use the Transcendence just to reset pressure. That forces Dragons back. Dragons must respect the trance. Void now going for the touch, but they need ultimates. Bebe nearly on Nano. Void needs the remake on the self-destruct as well.
Drops down, gets the touch. Fury going to be hacked out, but there's the EMP, and that's going to be Izayaki and Lit taken down. Bebe as well. Left out in the back lines by himself. Ends up falling to Zest's hand. And then 3 will survive. Fleta and Void now against the world, trying to buy some time. They do find both supports, however. Pulse Bomb, Hail Mary tossed out from Zest. Trying to get the stick on the Fleta. Can't quite make it happen. Void goes for the touch back in, but doesn't quite manage to make it work. The Baby D.Va will fall, as does the Tracer. Lip arriving, comes around the backside, out of the invis, translocates away, and no one is in position to get the follow-up. So 100 to 25% Fusion. They take control away from the Shanghai Dragons, who got it initially, and they never let it go.
I gotta say, Flitter and Void versus the world, and the world was a little bit shooken up there, because that was looking good from Void and Bebe for a little bit, until obviously they ended up dying. Flitter had to go for the touch, Void, Baby D.Va, then the touch afterwards, and with no further supports of players respawning, obviously a little bit too late for Lip there. No further progress for the Shanghai Dragons. Well played by Fusion. Again, I really credit Aimgod for pulling the trigger on that tempo translate. I mean, that could have gone poorly for them, right? Because it looked like they weren't really counter. They obviously didn't counter any ultimates there. AimGod just fully tempo tranced it, but it forces Dragons back. Dragons have to respect it because Philly just use it as a bit of a reset button just to breathe again. It allows them to clear the point, charge up important ultimates like EMP, and then win the map with it that round. So appreciate that from the Philly Fusion. Now they're 1-0 up.
All right. Into the second round we go. Skirmishing coming through. Lip just trying to build up as quickly as he possibly can. Zest going to be taken out. Flood finding that first blood. Gets the punish. Fix and AimGod both also under fire. MN3, okay.
He just unvisits, kills Bebe, translocates, refuses to elaborate. I love that.
Yeah, just
and Lip
this is what I'm going to do. Goodbye. He did his job. Okay, well, he's dead now. Void finishes him off. And gets that kill as MN3 continues to greed forward, trying to get some extra EMP charge. Flip nearly there, and Fusion will have it. 16% only here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons, but now they start rushing forward, trying to retake this quickly.
Now, Fury's been hacked a number of times, though. It doesn't seem to be under that much pressure, though. The healing's been good, and that 1.75 second hack, not going to be enough. Fire Nade, not enough either. Nearly 100 as you look at that. The damage output, Void will be feeling it.
Yeah, that's both bubbles on himself. They're getting ready to come off cooldown now. Hack on the Void. No D-Matrix. Nano Boost comes out in response. Maybe trying to make sure they keep Void in this fight, but put the ante out onto him. Might still get demeched, but no. He does persevere. Zest taken down. Fixa under a bit of fire.
Oh,
that nade from Bebe will finish him off. Now AimGod going to be taken down. Pinched by Flutta and Lip. The kill's coming through. That should be the flip. And the Shanghai Dragons, they retake control. Fusion only at 36.
Yeah, that was a long-range shot coming through from Bebe on the nade. Curveball lands perfectly in the Philadelphia Fusion. Eventually have to give up that point. And now it's Izayaki and Bebe sort of chasing after MN3 and Lip, trying to have their own Sombra 1v1 to the sides. They'll trade each other out. And it's EMP on both sides. I wouldn't be surprised if both teams are aware of the EMPs, but how about that? Pulse Bomb stick.
Okay.
Pulse Bomb kill.
Yeah, very big opening kill here. A lot of the healing now taken out of the fight, so Void just going to be demeched, holds on to that self-destruct. I'd say quite wisely as well here. Knows that this is neck and neck right now. Fusion do not have the advantage. Will surrender it over to them though as that flip comes through. A little bit of extra cleanup as Baby is the last one to die.
And now this is, I think, MN3's territory as he should be looking for the setup here. Lip is invis that entire time, but his team lacks the position. He sees double supports though, so if Lip really feels like it, he could go for that one. You have to note that Fury is close by. Izayaki dying just means a reset for Shanghai here. Another 5 to 8% gone. So again, Lip can't actually make the solo play happen because the belief is that Fury will just go for the bubbles as soon as players are EMP'd out. So probably not get the kills.
I'm still hovering around the backside. MN3 doing very much the same. Oh, the detect is there.
Detector there.
Bebe.
I feel like Bebe knows.
Yeah, Bebe does know. EMP's still going to be invested.
God.
Only goes on to Bebe, actually, and it's great sleep dart. Put him on the ground. Izayaki charges up the right click. They find the punish. Huge kill here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons. The EMP getting absolutely nothing for them. Fixin' out going to be hacked. The Transcendence comes out in response from AimGod.
Where's Lip?
Sure that they all stay alive. Fixa still going to die, however. Now AimGod looking to join him. Flutta gets the cleanup. The final headshot to go ahead and get the kill. 99% achieved here for the side of the Fusion. Shanghai Dragons now going to be flipping this back into the control. And look at the ults, Avril.
And that's because they survived against the EMP so flawlessly, and beyond that as well, Lip finds a solo kill to believe Fixer without having to expend EMP. That's the big difference. Fusion got nothing with the EMP, and Dragons didn't even need to use EMP, so now they get to hold all of that. Fusion, though, have a pretty big lead. It's more than 33% currently. It's a third of the map going their way. Fury with the solid grab still has to be careful of Void. Has to be careful of a hack as well. Lip is calling all this information. Has to translocate, got spotted by Fury.
Makes his exit. Spy checking a bit, trying to track down MN3. Finds him.
That's
There's
a
the
good
hack. MN3 can't make his escape, and now he is dead. A crucial pickup here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons.
Oh, the grab got played.
What happened to it? Wait, where did it go?
He played the grab. He played the grab on the stairs, and he died. Fury used the grab. He dies, and now Fusion are about to lose.
Okay,
the Dragons still have 4 ultimates and they've been clean.
No one can touch.
No, they're all dead. They're just all dead. They're just all dead.
I completely missed that he had used it. I thought I was like, did he get eaten? No, don't see the eats.
No. He used it, but then he died, so that no one could effectively do anything. I don't think it's his fault. The problem is MN3's already dead. MN3 thought he had the play onto Void, and this is to break down the line of play and understanding for Fusion. This is their game plan. MN3 hacks Void. Void can't eat Grav. Fury goes for Grav. Right? That's a very simple line of play. However, what actually happens is MN3 hacks Void. Lip hacks MN3. They kill MN3. Fury plays the Grav anyway. No one can dive the Grav, and Fusion just get picked off 1 by 1, and then they lose. That's actually what
just all right. My eyes just are going apparently.
Welcome to 30.
Take a sip of coffee, wake up, but yeah, welcome to 30. Yeah. Wake
That's
up.
Why I got LASIK so I can see this game properly. You know what I'm saying?
I've always considered doing it, but keep the glasses. Had them since I was 12. Why stop now? What's smart though?
You're in for the long game.
Yep. There's the hack and there's the kill. Fleta in pole position alongside Lip. They take down Aim God. Great early punishment here from the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Point now unlocked. The first cap once more for the third time in a row. Looking like it's going to be taken from the side of Shanghai. And yes, they will go ahead and cap it.
37 for Lip, 30 for MN3, not that far behind. We'll say one thing though, Void being on a Diva allows them to spy check for MN3 so much easier than the other way around, despite...
Aim God set again.
Besides how strong I think Zarya really is, but like you said, Aim God is dead. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
But now the trade up is there. 2 for 1 with MN3 getting taken down. Lip can very much take the lead in this EMP charge. By 5% at the moment. Works his way out on the walkway.
Philly is still in this. Still committing.
They are. Still a dangerous game to be playing. Just forced to use the recall. Just get back around the opposite side of the barrier. Try to join back in, and as he rounds the corner, just instantly greeted with so much damage. He's still building up rapidly, however, towards that next pulse.
Bebe needs
that first one here in the round. He's got it. He's trying to take down Bebe. He just recalls right back in behind him, finds the elimination in the end. Fusion still not getting this flood power, but Shanghai Dragons maintain control up to 51% before they let it go.
You saw that Lip was thinking about going for the play there, at least block the cap. He had the EMP, but with Void leaving, support's dead, Lip held on. He bites his lip, like that. As Shanghai Dragons. 5 ultimates nearly online. Still waiting for their opportunity to play through for this. The problem is they probably have to spend ultimates to actually get out of spawn at this rate. Still checking for MN3 as well, who's desperate to hack in the last 10% of ult charge.
Oh, Lip. Has he been spotted? I guess not. It's behind them. Still is. There's the beam. He gets caught. Translocat's out. MN3 now. EMP of his own. At the ready. God getting closer to that transcendence. It's going to be ever important. But Zest makes off Fleta.
Oh, wow. What is that?
That's critical.
Well, could have been a hack.
Maybe didn't quite catch it. That's definitely a hack. MN3. Oh, he tries to cancel. He tries to send it. Now he still does get Void, but there's no one there to play off the back of it. Void just stays alive, and MN3 just completely panics after getting found out.
Wow. Shanghai now holding the 5 ultimates. That one lands the back line.
Oh, up over the top. They don't manage to find the kill immediately, though, so AimGod does get the
That's a nano trance, by the way.
Zest slept. Fleta slept as well. Actually, Tracer for Tracer getting taken down. AimGod and Izayaki both getting their hands dirty, finding some kills. Point still held here for the side of the Fusion. They have taken the lead. 72% now built up for them. The grab comes in. Void not paying attention to it. Can't go for the E. Hack on the Fury, however. Now doesn't have any bubbles to try to bail him out in the healing. It's barely enough. He went down to 5 HP, and somehow he stays alive.
Void chased him.
Has the Mega Pack to play off the back of it, and Void just gives himself over. Now needs to respawn, join back in. It's 88%. They start pressuring the point. Fleta touching forward. Still goes low, now gets taken down. MN3 with the kill in the Fusion. I think they might have taken this away.
Void still coming back from spawn. He's not there yet. See a silhouette. He's barely making it back now.
Okay,
they do enable the touch, but they have no resources. MN3 is still going to get EMP.
OT bleeding down. Void manages to work his way forward. Forces out the OT yet again. MN3 going to be hacked out. He manages to stay alive. As the rejoin back in, though, it was a long translocate out. Manages to get himself back into position. Izayaki staving off AimGod for the meantime. And there's the EMP drop, and Izayaki gonna get flattened. They find the kill. The stick is good. Void knocked out of the mech. The baby is still gonna be in the fight, however. Trying to pistol his way back in just as he gets it. He will be taken out. The Fusion managed to win out the round. Mecha base and the whole of Busan is theirs. They start the series with a map victory.
So close. A lot of fighting on that last round on Mecha Base. I mean, it's just back and forth the
Individual
entire way
skirmishing,
through.
too.
It's a lot of kills across the map, right? You're correct on that one. I mean, the highlight of that for me was Void being demech'd, Fury on like 1 HP dropping down the hole, and Void chasing him as the Baby Diva. And actually, Void, had he been maybe a little bit quicker or Fury been a little bit slower, Void might have had that kill as the Baby Diva, which would have been incredible. But it's kind of the weakness of Diva sometimes is that Void just spent so much of that game, if you are dead, just in that Baby Diva form, couldn't catch the grab, like you said, didn't pay attention to Fury. Nanos saved Void for a little bit, but ultimately didn't give him enough to play through in terms of damage output, and that's kind of part of the weakness of running a Diva composition, as you do not have strong nano targets. That's why you often, at least in NA, see nanos being applied to the Zen when you're playing double flex support, whereas when you are the Philly Fusion, you can nano Fury on the Zarya. That's always going to give you value. That's so much more important and so much bigger, despite them having actually used a nano onto Aim God, who then transcends through the nano. So again, I kind of made fun of that. I don't know if you've ever seen a Transcendence nano combo onto the same hero, but there it was, just a very tanky Zen, invulnerable and also nanoed. But Philly win at the end of the day, finding ults. MN3 had the EMPs, Zest had the Pulse, Shanghai had nothing.
Well, quite the start here for the side of the Fusion. We mentioned, this record between the two teams, 2-2 this season. Tied up for the moment. Fusion take the first step and being able to go ahead and win this one out, make it a 3-2 at the end of the day. We'll see if they can carry on or if the Dragons will be able to have a Dynasty-esque comeback as we get ready to shift over to our hybrid map. That is going to be Eichenwalde coming up next, so don't go anywhere, guys. The action is going to continue when we come back.
Apagando las luces.
And we're back. It's time to carry on our series. Map 1 going the way of the Fusion. Kind of felt like stealing away that last round of Mecha Base, but very back and forth, very scrappy, very much down in the mud between these two teams. Now we have to see if the Shanghai Dragons are going to be able to wrestle back and get themselves a map win as we get ready to go into Eichenwalde.
And I think the more I'm seeing the difference of Void and Fury's picks, Fury leaning heavily into Zarya and Void leaning heavily into D.Va, and some of this is going to be slight bias being also carried through from the Chengdu Seoul game, where Smurf also couldn't quite get the D.Va rolling. I think the real thing convincing me is that we can say that Void, sorry for Smurf, is like, well, you know, he's not really a D.Va player. Void, though, that's kind of no excuses right here. He is definitely a D.Va player. There is a bit of a gulf in damage between Fury and Void. I mean, I think when you look at the Zarya and D.Va damage output, that was always going to be the case, right? That should be pretty straightforward. But I'm talking a 4,000 damage gap between Fury and Void. That's pretty monstrous on a single player. That's, you know, a role that would usually deal less than the DPS counterparts. Fury outdamaged both his DPS as well. He did 28% of his team's damage there. So the Zarya, I think, carried a lot of weight for the extra damage output. That was very important. All others being roughly similar. Fury was the outlier in that particular map. So I got to, you know, throw the credit towards the Zarya play there for the extra damage output. And I felt like Void, you know, just I kind of said it during the moment as well. You nano Void, he stays alive, but as what? Like a paperweight? Yeah. I'm saying, like,
as an old battery. As an old battery for the opponents, you know? So they can just continue to hit that giant hitbox. It's also, I mean, curious to see them, like, opting into the other tank's respective, like, pick that made them kind of a household name. Because you think of Fury, you think of D.Va. You think of the crazy flicks to be able to get those D-Matrixes through and everything. And then I think of Void, and I think all the way back to Apex, and I think of him playing Zarya and looking impeccable on that pick. So a fun little inversion of the roles there as far as the actual heroes selection goes. But it is the Fusion who kick things off with that win. Now we turn to see how they're going to fare going on to this defense here on Eichenwalde.
And I'm going to be curious as to the opening lineup here as well. With Bebe still in, I have to assume it's double flex support once more. Now, Fusion are also going to play double flex support, but obviously Fixer is in, so he needs to be the one to kind of be a superstar on the Ana if possible. I'm trying to remember if he played Ana during mid-season madness or whether that was Aim God. But we are seeing a lot more main supports be the ones actually playing the Ana now instead of Zenyatta. So we'll see how that one goes. MN3 as a defensive Sombra, Lip as the offensive one. Both need to do a lot of scouting here.
MN3 just looking to hold the front lines here.
Sleep!
Yeah, sees Baby there for just a brief moment, and Zest does get slapped, and turn on the corner. Izayaki charged up on the right click, finds the kill. Nothing to be done there.
Okay, Baby.
A man down as they continue to charge forward here over towards the point. Fury looking to hold the front lines. Right click gets a bit of damage there onto Izayaki. It's not really going to be forced out, though. Just reroutes, comes around the side. First tick, nearly established. MN3 hacked. Lip finds him. Make sure that he can't translocate out. Fury going to be slept on the high ground as well. First tick, now and a half going to be taken here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons.
Might have to give up more if Fury can't touch because he has been constantly hacked on out. He's running low on bubbles as well. Looking towards nanos. Both the nanos are nearly online. Aim God low HP, taking down Izayaki long range.
Izayaki is just spamming through the doorway, eventually gets that final connection, finds the kill. The Nanoboost has been built up, however, by Fixa. With high energy, Fury is able to get the pop on the Void's mech. That might just be enough to stave them off for now.
Bebe holding.
Coming back off cooldown. EMP comes in. Fury hits the floor. Pulse bomb out from Zest. Looks for a kill. Will get one. Gets Izayaki flooded. Now going to be slumped into the back line. Is nanoed up, but there's the hack. Zest finds the kill before falling to Void. Cap still coming through. MN3 having to play forward. The chase comes in. The kick. They're just trying to keep Void in range. They find that break on the mech. And the Baby D.Va exposed once more. And it looks like the Fusion are actually going to hold this one off.
Yep. I mean, what a sleep from Fixer. That was disgusting. I don't know what it is with these main support players on these Anas. We saw Nisha do it earlier to Prophet, but now Fixer is sleeping Flatter while Nano. Ridiculously good play. That saves a point, in my opinion, for the Philly Fusion, considering that Flatter was a Nano recipient. Izayaki dying again. He died previously on 97. That's a tragedy, because he would have had Trance in the fight. A 10-point Trance in that particular fight would have been really saving them, I think, for Dragons being able to cap through. He'll be
They are
holding it
chasing
for
so
the grab
far
now.
forward.
Assuming Void doesn't just eat the grab, and also, as you say, Fusion are pushed forward. They're pushed very far forward. Have to be careful about Lip, though, because Lip can also pressure the backline if you're forcing the defense to spread too thin.
It feels like we're playing that Junker Queen meta again, just having with how far forward they're playing just then, but they're looking for the punish on the Bebe. Didn't manage to find it. Lip going to be spy checked. Taken out, translocates to safety. Right back into the mix.
Void wants to
assist. Nearly has that next pulse bomb ready to go. Flat out found.
Oh,
Stuck.
Flat,
Oh, he
he's
gets
stuck.
bogged
He was
on
stuck.
He gets bogged on the telephone pole. Taken down now. Lip is gone as well. The support's out of the fight. You can see the D-Matrix there from Void just trying to keep Bebe safe. Fury still chasing in.
My
Energyless, however. He builds up quite a
would
bit
win?
off of MN3.
Who would win, 2020
A telephone
MVP
pole?
or telephone pole? I couldn't tell you. I think it was a drain pipe, but in any case,
Oh, whatever
Geometry,
it is.
who would win? MVP or Geometry, whatever it is, right? Still waiting for Dragons to make this attempt happen. They've just been bogged down, and that's the
And
pulse
there's a
bomb.
stick. Yep, another little graphical error there from Void. Does not get to eat. Not quite fast enough for that one.
Oh,
Aimgot
that's
does
a
get
trade.
traded, however. But now Lip is going to be taken down, so it's still going to be a man advantage. Grant the faster run backs are there from the side of the Shanghai Dragons, but now they are just 20 seconds away from being full held by the Fusion.
And look at
Full
this.
ultimates.
MN3 might just go for a play as well. He's getting really deep. He's either I know he's scouting, but he could just go for a play.
Okay,
Fury's
he's
not
out.
that far off as well. You have to EMP Void. If you EMP Void, Fury's grab is free.
Going to be looking for it. There's the touch. Void crashes across. They
catch.
find both the supports. Flathead's going to be taken down as well. Catching a stray. The sleep dart will connect there onto Fury. The point still being ticked up. Void is trying to hold it. Gains him a little bit of extra percentage up to nearly 94. But now Void's
Wow.
the last one standing. He's knocked out. He's pushed off the point. The self-destruct won't find a damn thing. And it is a full hold at the hands of the Fusion over the Shanghai Dragons. What
No
a
EMP on
comeback
Void.
initially, and they hold it till the end.
No issue. They got Bebe and Iziaki. You take that. MN3 locks down the two supports. Nothing to save them. I don't know if Void had the Matrix to cover them either, but it didn't seem to matter. Fusion rocked up, rocked down the double supports. Even the solo grab at the end there, I mean, you know, Lip was the only one alive to still receive. I think it was maybe Void alive there, but Bebe just looking for anybody. He's like, on to Lip it goes, I guess. Fury solo grabs Lip, prevents any opportunity for Lip to get anything done. Void is the last one alive to try and do anything. Self-destructs, and Philly Fusion, knowing that they won, Zest even just walks up to it, recalls away style points, and like you mentioned, the full hold is there. 93.9 is all Dragons will get. It's at least 2 ticks, and it's at least a defensible position. But the lack of, I think, offensive output is really staggering. My preference would have been that if you're going to play the Diva, I could almost see that being better on the defense, but attack, Zarya probably makes more sense for offensive output because you're trying to play a little bit of anti-dive in defense, right, with the Diva look. But even then, you look at what Fury can do. As long as you're not getting pressured out of your bubbles, you're not just having to spam bubbles, and you can save some of those so that when the Sombra runs into your backline, whoever it targets, you just bubble that target, you're okay. You can definitely defend yourself, but wow, great defense from Fusion.
Absolutely impeccable. I mean, the comeback alone was enough to sell me. Even if they had lost the point, I would have still remembered that and been like, damn, what a play from them. But they held it to the very end. Now, Dragons looking for the fuller hold to be able to get the map victory. Void still sticking to the Diva. Iziaki has been quite deadly so far today. Wrap around the side. He's looking for a charge-up shot. Won't be able to find anybody, though. Lip going to be forced back.
I think Iziaki has to kind of be the player, right? He, like you mentioned,
Void's out.
has hit some very important final blows, and Void's mech is gone. That's
And now
the
the Baby
first
Diva
domino falling.
cleaned up. I saw Lip for a brief little moment there. Fleta recalling Lip
And he's
dead.
gone.
I mean, this should just be it. Fleta not going to be getting hacked here. Does manage to elude that first tick. Now the
He's
second
dead.
getting ready to
This
come
is
through, and he
capped.
cannot escape. It's over. Map 3. Let's
Just
get
like
ready to go. Just like
that, it's gone. One attempt.
Absolutely clinical from the side of the Fusion. Can I just say, I mean, granted, everybody right now on the side of the Fusion is playing fantastically, but Zest is playing like a man possessed.
And MVP candidate for 2022 Zest. There you go. And the Philly Fusion, they know what's on line for them. They know what's at stake. They are fighting for a 3rd seed in APAC, automatic qualification to playoffs. Shanghai are already there. I think mentally they might already be in LA instead of playing this match in APAC right now, but for the Fusion, they need this win. They need it badly, and they are 1 map away from getting it.
Yeah, I mean, granted, and I don't mean to do a curse, so Fusion fans, I know you're going to get pissed at me, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's happened in the past. They have been reverse swept before by lesser teams, but right now, with the way that the Dragons are playing and given the record, I guess,
existence.
The Fusion are looking damn good to be able to take this with a 3-0. But whether or not that's going to happen, it's entirely in their hands. You cannot blame me for this if it happens. So, you know, back off. Anyway, they're looking damn good. Circuit Royale is coming up next. Potential there for that MN3 lit battle on the Widowmaker. Looking forward to it if that does come to fruition. But either way, Fusion might have just turned this into a very swift evening. We will see what happens, though, when we come back for that 3rd and potentially final map after the break. So don't go anywhere. and, well, I mean, if you blinked, you might have missed the first map. It was a full hold into a very easy push from the side of the Fusion to be able to close out Eichenwalde. Now they have the lead 2-0. That's right. It's not a glitch at the bottom of the screen. Everything is working properly. But there you have it. They've just been looking incredible, and the Shanghai Dragons continue to struggle right now.
I don't know if the Dragons are working properly at the moment. They might need to, you might need to hit that reset button one more time, give it a good kick, maybe just, give it a good shake. Sometimes that'll help, just slap it. Just slap the TV and reset it, see what happens. Eichenwalde is coming in for Bebe for this next map as we're going to head over towards Circuit Royale. Now, it is a Sigma map now, and there's a little bit of a unique thing going in. Also, who are you coming for later? So a couple of changes here. I'm going to address that in a hot minute when I'll get this one out very quickly first. But, I kind of had this wish list of seeing, wanting to see Void make a comeback in. We saw Fate for the first 2 games last week. It's like, it's not going so well. They could attempt to have Void in, play some off-tank heroes, right? That could probably go well for them. He comes in, 2 maps, and we're like, 2 maps he's plays Diva, we're like, we wanted to see Void in, but not like that. Not like that, guys. Just back a little bit. Let's just backtrack a little bit here. At least there's got to be some Sigma on this map, So we want to see Void in, but preferably on Azaria, like Fury is doing. I'm not going to say that's the only reason so far, but it definitely left a bit of a sour taste, especially on that Shanghai attack on Eichenwalde. It was just slow and uncomfortable. With no real ability to push up and really pressure out. Diva's just not going to do that for you. And despite some good plays from like Easy Bebe, I think, had a reasonable sleep on one of the maps as well. It's not enough. The comeback from Fusion, we talked about that. That was the key critical moment for the Fusion coming back in despite losing 2 ticks.
Yeah. Just brutal and looking a bit out of sorts, I suppose, from the side of the Dragons, but need to desperately find some semblance of stability. So maybe with Eichenwalde, who are you, coming into the lineup now, maybe that can be the difference maker for them because they need to be able to win this map. They need to take Circuit Royale, and then they need to win out several more from there if they want to be able to win this series. It's a reverse sweep if they want to win.
My prediction is, if we're seeing both Eichenwalde and who are you, it has to be Brig Genji. Assuming Lip plays Widow here, the lineup is going to be Widow, Genji, Sigma, Brig, Bap, I want to say. Would probably sound the most correct. They could probably fill the Ana, but I feel like BAP is too important for the Sigma, despite wanting to Nano Blade. So I think they'll forego the Nano Blade and play the BAP for that. That would make the most sense for me. Obviously, Fusion don't have the same... well, they also don't need it currently, but they don't have the same flexibility in the lineup. I think they can still get what they want done with this lineup, right? I'm sure Emin 3 will go towards the Widow. Fixer can play the Brig if he wants to. Zest can play the Genji if he wants to. They'll definitely be okay. That being said, though, if Fusion run back the Sombra, I'm curious as to how that would work for them, if it works for them at all. Because despite Sombra being fairly meta, I still think this map is very heavily Widow-centric and Sigma-centric, and those are the 2 key critical heroes that the teams need to rely on.
I fully agree with you in that regard. But we'll have to just kind of wait and see what they do have prepped for us here. But fully am looking forward to Who Are You's Genji. Haven't gotten to cast it for a good long while. So always a bit of a treat there. Because, we've seen what Who Are You can do. He can put this entire team on his back. Should it be necessary. And right now, just given the scoreline, given the way that things have been going for the Dragons in the Countdown Cup qualifier, it might be necessary.
I don't have this stat, and I would like someone with a lot of time on their hands to maybe... do the dirty work for me, so to speak.
Sure.
But I kind of want to find... I'm curious. I want to find out what Dragons' win rate with Who Are You in the lineup and without Who Are You in the lineup is. Right? Like, how many maps do they win with Who Are You, and how many maps do they lose without Who Are You?
You probably want to say just based off of loose recollection that it's very much positive for them.
Extremely positive with Who Are You, and probably quite negative without him.
Well...
So I don't take it, I certainly don't say it lightly when I've at various points this season proclaimed that Who Are You is the most important player on this team.
See how he fares. They need him to go ahead and put another check mark down in the positive category. Otherwise, it's going to be a 0-3 loss at the hand of the Fusion, something that they haven't suffered since the second time that they played against each other this season.
Yeah, kickoff clash. in the winners final, I believe. Winners final kickoff clash was the last time they lost to Fusion at all, but it was also a 3-0. In fact, the last 3 times Fusion have beaten the Dragons have been 3-0s. It seems like Fusion doesn't beat Dragons unless it's a 3-0. So maybe that prophecy comes true again.
Stage is set for it. It's
what I'm trying to say
is closeout.
Either Fusion 3-0 or they're about to get reverse swept. That's that's not
we
me
are
saying
really
it.
just...
I know I'm saying it, but it's not me saying it. That's just the prophecy. I'm just reading the prophecy.
I see. Well,
don't shoot the messenger.
Depending on how this map goes, and potentially the ones after that, you and I might have drawn the entire ire of the Fusion fan base. We'll have to just wait and see what happens.
But I do it on purpose because it's funny.
This is very true. That's why I do it as well. Translocate out from MN3, keeps himself safe. Just looking for as much of an EMP as he could possibly get there. And it's obvious to just see that there's no sequence whatsoever. Action starts flying. Hugh does get taken down. Void finding one, but looking for a little bit more. Fix it desperately.
And there's no Widowmaker.
Please hold still. Yeah. There's no Sigmas. There's no Widows.
Well, I mean, we're just playing
a very
broadcast.
strange gentleman's agreement.
We've hit Zarya, Genji, Ana. We're basically doing the hard Genji pocket. And I think on some level, Shanghai's like, guys, I think we just have to put Who Are You in, hard pocket Who Are You Genji, and just pray that works. And Fusion's like, I guess we could try the same with Zest.
Okay, hack out on the Who Are You. Can't quite find the punish. Puts a little bit of damage down to the lip. Antsy goes down to the 2. Who Are You and Void. Just getting clipped by that one for now. He and Zest pretty much neck and neck. It's getting these Dragon Blades online.
Look at the EMP.
Oh, Lee gone. Yeah, I mean, the EMP is about to be there, but Lee going to be taken out. Zest just dashes through him, finds the kill, and also doesn't get punished for it, so makes his way out of there. Now he's very much got the lead towards the blade.
And also that play as well with MN3 going in with a hack, and then Fury's supporting with a bubble just allows MN3 to claim the last bit of percentage points. Now with EMP available, Fusion can think about what play they want. They would probably prefer Dragons to be allowed to push through a little bit. EMP can come through now.
It's going to be the blade.
Stop
okay, Pixie going to be taken down. He's slapped. They shut him down. A sleep dart from Izayaki puts Zest on the ground, nullifies the entire Dragon Blade, and it's just a team wipe. What just happened?
Was MN3 AFK? Was MN3 AFK or what? I don't understand.
Fusion had everything in their pocket, and then Shanghai Dragons just robbed them at gunpoint.
I mean, just EMP, Who Are You, and put him down. That should have been the play from Fusion, and then they eventually get the play through with Grab and Trent. They lose Zest immediately now. This will be a cap.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
The neutral fighting was going so well, and the moment that Fusion decided to pull the trigger on an ultimate, it just crumbled, it just fell to pieces.
Wow. Now Lip should have some decent positioning. Actually, he's in the middle of nowhere. I lied to you completely. He should have some positioning. He's about to claim it now. As first EMP will be critical here. Dragon still holding on to Blade, very importantly.
MN3 though, strikes first, finds 4 with the EMP. Eichenwalde going to be taken out. Poke and prod forward a little bit more here. Answering EMP, also going to find 4, but the follow-up is looking a hell of a lot better here for the side of the Dragons. Zest only able to find Izayaki. Void will go down, but 3 members left standing to just MN3. That is a victory. I've never seen one here for the Dragons.
They just have such a higher value in terms of ult economy exchange right now, where everything Fusion put in there is getting minimal value. Shanghai, everything they put in there is turning into gold. And beyond that as well, they don't have to throw in extra ultimates. They don't have to play the Blade or the Grab or even the Beat here. They're almost on another nano, far ahead of where Fixer is. And now Lip is camping Translocator. Now, we've seen Lip die to Fitz doing this. He's got to be a little bit careful. MN3 is not currently tracking Lip, so that's fine.
Okay, there's the beat. Grab out from Fury. Catches quite a bit of Q. One of the largest grabs we've seen in a while, and MN3 manages to gun down too. Izayaki and Void both going to be eliminated. Now Lee gone dead as well. So off the back of just the grab, they get a nasty catch onto everybody, and they manage to clean it up. So the cart not quite gliding into B just yet.
Void must have either ran out of bubbles, or I guess they just got burned through exceptionally fast, because Lee Gon did apply the sound barrier in that fight. Still waiting for this nano blade though. I'm a little surprised that Dragons have been a bit passive on that. When you see Philly Fusion back on the defense, your next move is to play through the nano blade. They kind of just allowed themselves to get grabbed, and like you said, one of the bigger grabs that we've seen. That typically doesn't happen this meta. You don't normally find a humongous grab, but there it was. And by the way, Zest and Fixer almost on Nanoblade.
There's the hack, the blade comes in, Fixer hits the ground, AimGod joins him. Who are you? 2 quick kills. Looks for another one. Void will go ahead and take away the killing blow on a Fury. The cleanup is going to be there, and that will be the cap. Yeah.
So this is the other thing, is when Dragons win these fights, they're actually getting positive exchanges, not just in getting their own value, but
yeah.
Is Fury did it? No, Fury's probably okay. But it's also that Fusion are burning equal ults in some cases and getting very little out of it. Now, this time it wasn't exactly equal because I believe, yeah, Fixer didn't burn a nano, and I'm pretty sure AimGod had already lost trance on it. He already used trance on a previous fight. So, just the fact that Zest burns the extra blade while losing is just bonus for Dragons pushing through.
Well, it's certainly spiraling a bit here for the side of the Fusion. Need to get some stability. They had the cart halted, but then it's just as quickly they lose it. EMP out from MN3. Catches onto a couple. Void's the first one to fall. Good focus fire, and they're actually going to position all the way forward at the door again, or at least while they wait for the respawn to come in, if you're quite far up there.
They, I don't know if this comp has the capability of spawn camping like the Jungle Queen comp did, because we haven't really seen enough games on circuit to know that. But also, Dragons had 4 alive, so I don't think Fusion could really push in. Anyway, Grav's coming up this fight. Also, Lip needs to set up for this EMP, and I'm not too sure when Lip is. There he is.
Okay, finds both the supports. AimGod surviving, Fix it taken down. It's going to be the nano now out of the fight. Void throws out the Grav, gets the catch there on to Zest. The cleanup comes through. 3 members now dead, make it 4. As AimGod does fall on the back end, the cart can once more start gliding again here for the side of the Dragons.
That was one of the more expensive fights for Dragons. It's 2 big ticket ults gone in terms of EMP and Grav. So obviously the next one we're playing through is for the Nanoblade while holding beat for safety. Payload was also stalled for a very long time. Lip has to be careful here. I think he translocated away. Dragons have a decent amount of push. Now we're actually heading towards the final straight.
Okay, Grav is in.
Legion on hack.
Fury getting the catch. Legion on, yep. Not going to be able to beat his way out of that one. Does end up falling. That's going to take the clock down below a minute now. Fusion still with a hope of being able to deny the finish on the map.
Very impressed with what MN3 did in that particular play. They knew they were going to play for the Grav. Obviously around the corner, Fury was set up for it. Legion had the only counter, with MN3 focusing with that hack. That was everything they needed to stop Dragons from being able to survive the Grav. And now with under a minute, Fusion still hold on to 3 important ultimates. We're still 10% off of Who Are You is also not quite on board to play through for the Nanoblade. And if Iziaki goes down, it just slows things even further. They know the Nano's up, although that information should have been obvious to Fusion already. MN3 is also reasonably close to EMP with Lip Swap and a Sojin.
Shots going out. Iziaki in the back, just keeping everybody alive. Neither Zarya anywhere near a grab, so those aren't going to be deciding factors.
Final fight
for the rest of this one, but as you say, final fight, 25 seconds, Zest goes in, Dragonblade pulled the bubble out, beat as well. They zone him all the way into the back, now he's going to reroute.
Who are you?
Going to be pulled by Who Are You, and this time he does find Fixer. Almost going to be popped, the Transcendence as well, layered in there from AimGod, trying to keep everybody alive. The EMP strikes, Who Are You falling low, gets the deflect up in time, however, manages to stay alive, but it's going to be Legion taken down. Fixer now swapping over to the Lucio, no, changes his mind, goes now for the BAP. Fury in the corner, going to be taken down, Anti on the Zest, he's also going to fall. Dragons still in a winnable position now. If they can close this one out, and with MN3 going down, that might just be it. The Mortality Field is going to be cleaned up. Fixer's dead. And they get it in overtime.
Wow. The Nanoblade exchange once again going the way of the Shanghai Dragons. Yeah, you see Zest pushed, buffered it about, booped away. Great peel by Lee Jae-gon, who eventually does die afterwards. But for the Shanghai Dragons, Who Are You? Pouring through the Nanoblade, and despite AimGod's Transcendence, still gets the kill to Fixer. That was brilliant. Take a look at the replay now. Sleep, I believe? Boom. That was so nice.
Great sleep. And that was just the moment that kind of really spiraled everything out of control. And, Iziaki. Huge, yeah. That's
so that was the blade. So
he had popped the blade.
So that's the extra blade. Yeah. That's the thing, right? It's hard to notice he even popped the blade because nothing came of it. And now we know the reason nothing came of it was Iziaki just straight slapped him.
Godlike play from him. Two quick shutdowns there. Yeah. Huge shutdowns. Map winning ones, perhaps, if they can go on to close this out.
I don't know if Zest has had a positive blade yet. Now, 2 of those got shut down by Iziaki. We saw the last one got shut down by Lee Jae-gon. Well, not quite slept, but I mean, at least booped away with no dash available. I can count 3 on my hand currently that all went to right. So the one area that has not been positive for the Philly Fusion is either the Blade or the Nano Blade exchange.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lip is
now
curiously
onto
not
the
on
attack.
Sombra here either, by the way. M3 should be on Sombra.
And there's the swap. No, Sojourn.
Okay, no.
Okay.
So they both
Gentleman's
played
agreement, no
Sombra on the previous
Yeah.
round, and now they'll both play Sojourn now.
It's,
Really
firm
are
handshake.
handshaking this one.
Okay. See how it fares.
Double flex
Legion, of
support
course,
for
still going to be on
Fusion.
the Lucio.
Which he did play last time. Philly Fusion's double flex support is mentioned here. I think for A, this is a very smart pick. It's very hard to pressure backline as a defenders versus this double flex attack. Once you get deeper into the map, then aim got to fix it will be kind of more easy to attack from sides. But opening A point is just single lane, right?
Oh, okay. Forward aggression there from Who Are You, but it's the backline that suffers. Aim God mentioned the sniper
4
on the
HP.
HP bars right now. The Fusion is so low. They don't have that AoE healing from the Lucio, but it doesn't really matter. It seems they still managed to find the pick
Fusion
off,
can
and
cap.
That's it. That should be the cap. Maybe a
Void
desperate
has to
drop
jump down now.
here
If he
from
wants to
Void,
contest,
but,
no, not
they're
going to do it.
they're
Not going to do it.
A lot of concessions being made on point A's today. We saw Chengdu having to do the same thing on King's Row.
Yeah, I
Five
mean,
and a half minutes nearly.
I can understand it. I can understand and respect it because they're just down on members at that point. If you fly onto the point 3, maybe even 4v5, high likelihood you lose. No ultimates to play through either. Hand Dragons found a quicker nano or something, possibly, but both of the nanos are only just coming online now. With the blades reaching in. Just going to play it
Nano
dry.
up. On to Who Are You. Doesn't have much to work with, and now he's going to be antsied out. As the deflect expires, he goes down. Izayaki going to be joining him in the grave. They lose Fury for the front line, but still going to be a 2-for-1 here for the Fusion. Now a 3-for-1 special.
This is so easy.
As they are just making it look easy and breezy.
I gotta say, Dragons, it looked like they had to exert a lot more effort to get to this same point in the map. And Fusion have done it 2 fights in a row where we've barely had fights, you know? Some quick skirmishes. That's at least 1 kill going the other way. Dragons now getting aggressive. This will be the first time Fusion are forced to reset.
Slows him up for a bit. Does allow for the Dragons to take that more forward position. Lip going on a bit of a flank, but doesn't have the rail shot fully charged up, so can't go for the full stealth headshot tag. Just gets Zest climbing up the wall, but instead whiffs and goes a little bit wide. 4 ults nearly here for the side of the Dragons. So Who Are You? Almost has that blade ready
Should
to
just
rock.
be overclock. I don't think you even need to, you don't have to wait for the blade here. You just go play through the overclock. M3 doesn't quite have it. I don't know if Fusion can do too much except just leave. Exit this point.
Okay,
Void grab.
in from
No,
Void.
Void
Needs
is
to catch
grabbing.
a couple. Zest still going to be taken down. Aim God with the Transcendence just not able to keep him alive. Can't quite see exactly what happened there, but Fury, he throws his own grab. The beat's there in response, and Fury actually just dies. Lip domes him. And that's one ult used in the follow-up fight from Lee Jae-gon to just keep them alive. Gives his life for it, but the cleanup continues to be found. Fusion sent scattering back down the hill.
Okay, so now we are starting to lose a bit of time on the Fusion side of things. Aim got slit, but is okay. Still 3 ultimates on board for the Dragons, so yeah, we essentially just trade support ult for support ult, grab for grab. Shanghai come out on top. Nano about to come back online for Fixer. This will be the second round of nanos on both ends, and this time it will be nano blades. And Dragons can afford to just play this one a little bit patiently. They could even afford to just wait until Fixer and Zest go first, and then Who Are You and Izayaki respond. Otherwise, Fusion will just disengage, which is a little bit dangerous for Who Are You.
Nano going out. Who Are You? Quickly dashes once, twice, finds the supports, finds 4 kills. And yeah, there you go. There's a quick reset. 2.5 minutes gone. 2 ults expended from the side of the
see if they go
Dragons.
towards
But now
spawn.
just the overclock is all that they hold.
Well, I think this is the interesting part now, is do they go for any sort of spawn hole? Because that would actually force Fixer and Zest to pull through earlier than they want to. And Fusion actually, I guess, walked up far enough for Who Are You to feel safe to go for the play. They could have actually maybe burnt a bit more time off the clock had they waited, but they'll make the play. Now that the difference maker is going to be how do they defend against Nano Blade play in the response.
All right, overclock pop. Fury just under so much pressure, completely surrounded. Look at a quick shot there on a Zest. Sets up for Who Are You to get the kill on the MN3 as well. And we're down below 2 minutes now, Avril. Not much gained as
That
well
was
on that push for the Fusion.
And you can see that Lip and Dragons can actually just win a fight off an overclock alone, and that's the play I thought they were going to go for a little bit earlier. Back when we had a bit of a neutral on the top of the ramps, but the grabs were traded instead, but would have been cheaper just to go for the overclocks. They give up a lot of space now. They are still expecting Nanoblade. Here it is.
Okay, it is pulled. Finds one to start, finds both supports. Zest breaking things open. Who are you? Dashing away. Keeps himself alive for now. Continue to go on the hunt, looking for any additional staggers. They know that that is going to snowball, but yeah, this is still very much retakeable from the side of the Shanghai Dragons, or at least can drain the clock down. Void is right there on the doorway.
They have grab. They have grab on the doorway. They can push through easily with that, just bubble themselves.
Okay, he builds it up.
Oh, no,
dead.
Not.
MN3 with the overclock, pops it, slides away, instantly gets a headshot, gets Lee Jae gone as well. And that win condition was quickly snuffed out. Great shot from MN3 to effectively save the cap. Had he not killed Void, that absolutely could have been turned around.
I mean, the exchange otherwise was going to be that Shanghai Dragons probably do get this retake going forward, but this is also the risk of Dragons playing the Nanoblade earlier than Fusion and not getting that sort of blade for blade trade, because on previous fights when Dragons were attacking, both teams were blading at the same time and Dragons were coming out ahead. And this time around, Fusion get a free Nanoblade where they get to kind of win off that. Fury grabbing that. Okay, all three called. That should be it.
Yeah, using the flank. Who are you? The only one who survives. And Void's still just holding on to one of his own. And oh man, the cheeky wait. It's going for that push.
Oh, it's another play. Second play, Boop.
Okay, Lee Jae-gon is just doing Lee Jae-gon things. We might not be on Lee Jae-gon Tower, but still finding so much value. Zest cleaning up too, however.
Lee Jae-gon Hotel.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, despite Zest getting those kills, Philly still have to wait for full respawners here, so no progress. By the way, look at Dragon's ultimate bank economy again. It's just stacked up nearly 5. So this 1 minute, they need more time. Fusion are at risk of not capping here. There's just simply too many Dragon's ultimates to play through.
See if they can do it. Aim got Howard dead. Now Zest gone as well. That's a minute remaining. It's just going to be a hard reset. Fury popping the bubbles, trying to stay alive, trying to answer back a little bit of damage. I mean, you need to die sooner rather than later. Now he's down, and that cost them 0 ults. Shanghai Dragons rushing out, looking for those additional staggers.
Because that fight should have cost ultimates. Who are you need to die here?
They can't. It's going to be Fix-A-Dead.
It's a trade.
MN3. But it's not a trade that the Fusion wanted to make.
No. The problem is, like, when we're at the 1 minute mark, Fusion, even if they lose that fight, they have to force ultimates. Because they lose the fight just through sheer picks alone and Dragons save economy, their economy now is perfect, and we're heading to last fight where Dragons literally could not be in a stronger position. Which means if Dragons somehow don't win this map of this 5 ultimate play, then that's the biggest choke we've seen all season, probably.
Name God.
Should be a guaranteed win, 5 ults.
15% away. The overtime forced out. Zest holding the blade. The Nano at the ready. He spawns Who Are You on the right side flank. OT starting to bleed down. There's the touch. Zest looking to lead the charge. Overclock. Hog lift instantly. Domes MN3. And he's looking for more. And he's just tearing them to shreds. Aim God dead. 8% away. Zest the last one standing. The blade sheathed. He's too far away. It will get cleaned up at the very end. And there is the hold. And there is a very scary thing occurring for the side of the Fusion fans. Shanghai Dragons, they went out on Circuit Royale, and that is the first step.
Tell you what, it's a 5 ult expenditure to receive a 5-star treatment on Circuit Royale for the Shanghai Dragons. Yeah, I mean, that fight was going to be incredibly difficult for Fusion. They desperately needed to pull more ultimates out of the Dragons before we got to the final fight situation. That did not happen, and Dragons' economy far too clean in that particular map on both attack and defense, and a lot of it just came through from either singular picks coming through from various players that Fusion couldn't respond to, or ultimate exchanges where both teams ulted at the same time, but Dragons consistently came out ahead. Blade versus Blade, Nano versus Nano, Overclock versus Overclock, Grab versus Grab. A lot of those went the Dragons' way.
That they did. Well, they're not done yet. It is not going to be the 3-0 closeout that the Fusion so desperately wanted for themselves. They wanted to bring back, you know, some times that from the past. Not to be. So now we get ready. We get focused up to go into New Queen Street once more to see who is going to be able to win that map, whether or not we're going to have another 3-1 closeout, or if this is going to be an attempt, a run back into a Game 5 at the hands of the Dragons as they seek a reverse sweep. The action's going to continue in just a few minutes. It's been scrappy the whole way throughout, so you guys absolutely do not want to miss it, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. This series is not over yet. The Fusion had the 2-0 lead, but the Shanghai Dragons now look to engineer a reverse sweep. They get the victory on Circuit Royale, allowing Fusion to get close to finishing the map, but they stop them at the very end. Now we move over to New Queen Street once more for push.
And Dragons, if they want to get the reverse sweep done, they're going to have to do it uphill because New Queen Street has historically been one of Fusion's best maps of, just across the board. On any meta, it seems like all metas, this map is just good for the Philly Fusion. We are going to have some substitutions. Baby coming in for Lee J gone. And it doesn't end there.
No, it does not.
We'll just wait for the we'll wait for the public. There you go. Flatter in for Who Are You? So we're going to go back to our map 1 and 2. lineups. Double flex support.
Yeah.
Flitter Tracer. Could be Flitter Reaper, but I think Flitter Tracer. Actually, maybe, possibly even Flitter Genji. That would probably be... If it is Flitter Genji, I think that would be funny, because that would then be like, Dragons could have just played Who Are You anyway, but they subbed them out. So, for people's sanity's sake, you probably hope not Genji and just a lot of Tracer then.
I can't imagine that they would, especially after the performance that we just saw from Who Are You, I can't imagine that they would sub Who Are You out and have Flitter come back in just to play the Genji. I mean...
You lack the imagination.
Is Moon really on... Are the doses that strong right now? Like, I mean... I don't know.
Well, he's already on a plane to LA. He's not even there, you know. They're like, oh, we're playoffs bound? Ah, who cares? He's already on the way. He's already gone.
Maybe that's the case, but I think definitely some cause for concern, just given that the starting five got bodied.
Like I said,
granted, different map
they're
type,
going uphill.
So.
Definitely going uphill here. More ways than one, but Dragons look. Lip definitely had a bit of a banger of a performance on Sojin. That's one area that you can always rely upon. Old reliable is Lip on that Sojin, so I'm expecting a lot more of that. That being said, though, I will say he'll come back on a Sojin, and then he'll probably lock in the Sombra.
Well, time will tell as we're getting ready to load up into what very well could be the last map of this series and of the evening. Fusion, I mean, all time on this map have just been looking incredible. I mean, they're kind of the squad that invented the bot steal. Zest just getting in there, stealing it away while no one's paying attention, just running it across the opposite side of the map. This is where that has happened. So it is a big boon for them. See how they fare, though. Because when you have been reverse swept, it can
possibly trace a Sombra, if not Sojin Tracer, maybe. Sojin Reaper, possibly. I think the Reaper's probably not that ideal going into a Zarya Mirror. Fusion, I mean, they still have the safety of going to a map 5 here, but I think for them, they should be confident about locking this out into a 3-1 victory, given their history on New Queen Street.
Uh-oh.
So we'll have to see what it is. We are being teased with a Junker Queen. I don't think that'll be the case, but we are being teased with one. And right now, the combined mass of Shanghai fans like, please, 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 Junker Queen, please. Please, Fury, just lock it in.
Well, I was going to take that moment as we were getting ready. You'd start doing the pre-map analysis. The doors are getting ready to open. I was going to take that moment as to get some food in my face, but apparently not because we have a pause. So the lights got to come back on. I got to get back on camera. Pardon me while I just have a sip of water. So yeah, just going to go without food for a little bit longer, I guess.
Your pardon. We will accept the pardon. As we wait for whatever issue that is. I think Coach Jin on Fusion's just rushing to the room, and I was like, Fury, what are you doing? Get off that hero!
Could be.
as we are also seeing, by the way, a couple of picks that I think are going to see the light of day is the Zen and a double flex on the Fusion side. Zest, Tracer, MN3, Sombra. I think that is pretty typical, and that is something that we do normally see, as Fury's obviously just having a bit of fun here. Shanghai, we lock in soon as well, double flex support. I'm curious about what Lip and Flitter are playing. Every other position, I think, has been pretty solid, and looking like Tracer Sombra as well. So another thing where we look at old reliable Lip Sojin, not going to be making an appearance here on New Queen Street.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
That is not. Well,
here we go.
Into the game we go. Doors opened up,
Lip.
and it's just going to be
okay,
here
MN3 and Lip
are
starting on opposite ends, by the way. So Lip starting on statue side, and MN3 has started on the Mega side all the way on the other end.
Hasn't revealed himself yet. Aim God, though, slept. Gets the hack on a Pixar, turns his sights over to Aim God, but the bubble is there for Fury. He helps keep him protected. Now Lip, unable to bail out. Corpse goes sailing off the side into the icy depths below. And that's going to be the Fusion charging forward, looking to get some further punish here. MN3 still in the back line, drawing some attention. Void going low. I think he's out of bubbles as well. And now Bebe going to die. Is a Yaki dangerously low, but so is Fury. He gets pushed forward. Fury managed to keep him alive.
How?
He continues to go so damn low, but the healing from Aim God and Pixa saves him.
I saw him go down to 30, maybe even just below 30. Did not die. He is running at Izuyaki, who, by the way, picked up a mini pack. Void trying to keep them safe as well, but the Fusion cleaned them up, and because of that, because of the late deaths, by the way, Fusion can continue pushing beyond the 25 to 30 meter mark, which is what most teams get after winning the first fight, especially cleanly. They're going to get 35, maybe even 40 here, and the Dragons desperate to try and find anything, but they just lose Izayaki.
MN3 again. Okay, Overseas is welcome. Maybe not quite respecting the damage output of Void. Does end up giving his life over.
He didn't have a
Void's still
translate
under fire though.
One.
Oh, it got broken, I see. Okay, well, he was just YOLOing for it. Either way, they still can't contest this, so that's a checkpoint in the first 2 minutes.
Oh my goodness. That's so fast.
This is absurd.
This takes teams a lot of fights to get. I mean, when we talk about push maps, we spend a lot of time putting emphasis on how important camps are because they take a lot of effort to get. Yeah, Fusion get it with minimal effort. And they are in a commanding lead.
Zest gets a pulse bomb stick on Izayaki, takes him down. The bot was shifting into neutral territory, but the Fusion, they regain control, which means they hold the forward spawns. If anybody dies, they can make use of that, but so far it's been looking pretty damn good for them. Pulse bomb from Fury
just
not
grabs,
gonna find a connection.
If Fury just grabs, there's no defense.
Port's just dead.
There it is.
He's left out by himself. Lip will find one, so Fixa does get eliminated, but yeah, I mean, like you said, Fury grabs, waiting patiently, knows that somebody's going to fire at Zest, waits, has the bubble, throws it on him. Now Zest is straight back into the back lines. Look at the pressure out Izayaki.
He's died so many times, he's significantly behind aim guard, so there was no chance ever in that particular fight, so Fury had a free grab at all times.
EMP catches everybody else. Void was still trying to run back out of the spawn room, I do believe.
90 meters
in the front, but didn't get clipped, and yeah, it's still pushing. They're going for this would be a record if they could just go ahead and push straight to the end. No one's been able to do this in this amount of time.
Oh
Void's
my goodness.
Dead, and they just haven't been able to use any of their ultimates.
100.
And even if they do, I don't know if it'll help them.
And by the way, Fusion are overspending. They know they're about to lose the next fight, but they can keep spending until Dragons do something. Because as long as Fusion is spending, they're winning. And they're about to be 120 meters in 3.5 minutes.
Have all of the keyboards come unplugged. The EMP used by Lip manages to find Zest.
Is this a cap? Is this a cap?
Keeps everybody else alive. They are continuing to push. Bebe is dead. Flood is trying to buy some time, but even with the nano boost, he gets destroyed. Izayaki popped the transcendence of his own. It's 4.20 meters left to go, by the way. And yeah, the trance is going to expire. Doomfist comes out from Void. He's instantly hacked. Izayaki's dead. Lip is so damn low. Fury continues to play around the flanks. He can't quite get that finishing blow through, but Izayaki still picked off. Void now just isolated, pulse bomb, kills him, and this is a league record. It's done. It's over. What?
Victory.
3 minutes and 55. They finished the map in 3 minutes and 55.
This is I've never seen this done before.
Is that the fastest New Queen Street we've ever seen?
It has to be. There's no way. There's no way that this has been done before. And if it has, I will happily say, okay, good job to whichever team did it before. But this was brutal.
Couple of things straight away. First of all, Fury did not die. Deathless on that entire, I was going to say map, but let's just call it an entire attack. Didn't go down one time. Carried his team the way through. Highest damage on his team, 32% of his damage. Of his whole team's damage at 3.8k. Now, the game finished in 3 minutes, in under 4 minutes, so he does nearly 4k damage in that time. Way higher than anybody else on the server. We have not a single kill from Flitter, sadly. 3 final blows on Lip, 2 final blows on Void, and that's it. Only 5 total final blows from the entirety of the Shanghai Dragons. Split across their 2 DPS Christ. And the 2 supports on Fusion, with Fury receiving none of those final blows. What?
I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I was getting concerned because Fusion, I mentioned it before, you know, they lose that 4th map or the 3rd map, and they have been reverse swept before. Like, does that start hanging on their heads, you know, in the back of their brains? Like, oh god, is it happening again? Do they start slipping up and making mistakes because they dropped that map? No, not at all. They doubled down and they absolutely bodied the Shanghai Dragons on New Queen Street. Fusion continued to look like the cleanest team on that map in general, but this was something else. This was more dominant than when MN3 popped off and had like the hardest carry performance of his life on Ashe. This was a collective team diff at the hands of the Fusion. They completely and utterly destroyed them, dismantled, broken down bit by bit until there was nothing but scrap metal left. Zest is our player of the match.
He is. He's a player of the match. Let's talk about it right now. Let's bring it up. He was phenomenal this series. I'll say it. Fury carried the hell out of the game on the final map, but Zest across the board was super impressive today.
Yeah.
And that's not to speak poorly of Zest on the new question either. How many pulse bombs, how many kills did he have on Izayaki? How many multiple deaths on Izayaki were at the hands of Zest completely shutting him down? Way too damn many. And I have the stat line, by the way. I've done the research. I figured it out. And give me a guess. What do you think the fastest ever New Queen Street finish was before today? So today, 3:55, I believe, was the finish. What do you think was the previous? So, to no one's surprise, that is the fastest New Queen Street we ever had. Just confirming. Fusion
I would
set
guess
a league record. What do you think it was before that?
It's probably in the range of like 7 minutes, 25 seconds.
7 minutes to finish the whole of New Queen Street, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you that the previous record was set by Gladiators versus Houston in the mid-season Madness tournament, and the finishing time required to finish the whole map was 5 minutes 27. Fusion beat that record by 1 minute and 30 something. Math's failing.
1 minute and 30 lots of seconds is basically the way to sum it up. That is unbelievable from them.
By the way,
I'm still at a loss for words.
It's not even the fastest New Queen Street we've seen. It's the fastest push. Because the fastest Coliseum that's ever been done was Atlanta versus Dallas Kickoff Clash tournament, 4 minutes 36. This time on New Queen Street still beats that by about 40 seconds. So for both maps, for all push of all time, which is only this year, this is the fastest push that's ever been completed. So
unbelievable. Fusion just somehow, I don't know. They have the read on this map type, I suppose. They just crush it. Look, I know that there's going to be people out there, especially on the Fusion side of things, who are saying like, "Should I do? I'll do the voice." Why are they giving the player of the match to Zest? I think the Fury deserved it. Fury plays so well. This was just basically a 5-sided die. Just roll it. Who cares? Who cares who gets the player of the match? They all deserved it. They all played absolutely out of their damn minds. Zest got it because he played so well the whole way throughout. I mean, Fury, sure, he was right there with him. You could have also given it to. You could have given it to Vinham. You could have given it to MN3. It doesn't matter who gets it. The fact of the matter is that they won. They absolutely bodied. So
you know who I'm giving it to?
Damn about the player of the match today.
The player of the match, in my eyes, is Moon.